Hello and welcome to the top 10 Cities Skylines mod. The game hasn't been out for long, but the modding community has been hard at work to make this the best game possible. With that in mind, I thought I'd highlight the top 10 mods on the Steam Workshop and let you know which ones you should download. There's a plethora of different ones available, but I'm going to make it easier for you. I'm going to sift through the shit to find the diamonds. So, without further ado, let's get to the first mod on the list. Now, as a mayor, it's hard to relate with your townspeople. They say they can't pay their taxes, but you have millions of pounds in the bank. They say they can't cook, but that makes no sense. Why doesn't their butler do it? Being relatable to your townspeople is a very important thing, which is why first-person camera mod is such a good idea. Now you can get down and dirty with your people. Sounds a bit fucked up. You can get down and dirty with your people and see life from their perspective. Peruse your streets, go visit Bob's Burgers if you so desire. The food's shit, but the atmosphere is oh so delightful. This mod's more of a novelty than anything else. It doesn't really offer any gameplay changes or anything kind of major to the mix. It doesn't offer new buildings, it doesn't offer new textures, but what it does offer is a freedom that isn't in the boxed game. In the normal game, you have a bird's eye view of your city, and you're like some benevolent little townsmaker. I don't know who you'd be. Boris Johnson. You're like benevolent Boris Johnson flying from the sky. But with this mod, you can be more than Boris Johnson. You can be Boris Johnson at height level. That's what everybody else wants, isn't it? That's what you want to be in life. Boris Johnson at height level. And that dream can be achieved if you download this mod. It doesn't take up much space. Not many mods do on the workshop. But it's one that's kind of a weird idea when you first hear about it, but one that does offer a lot of freedom and a lot of possibility. I didn't think I needed this in my life, but I certainly do. You can fly around the world, you can see your little townspeople, you can see the individuals of your place. I don't know, Dorothy. Dorothy is going to go buy some crab sticks. Did you need to know that? Well, no you didn't, but now you do. And your life is 10 times better because of it. So there you go, first person mod. Deserves a title on this list, if only because it lets you walk around your city and really enjoy it. Bear in mind, the closer you get to your city, the shitter it might look. Just bear in mind, the closer you get to your city, the worse it's gonna look. Imagine this scenario. You're walking down the street, you see a beautiful blonde-haired woman walking in the opposite direction. You like what you see. You walk towards her, and you say, "Hello, pretty lady, what's your name?" She turns around. "It's Justin Lee Collins." That's the similar thing to this, right? You don't want to get too close. Admire it from a distance. You get too close, and you'll find out that your city is actually indeed Justin Lee Collins, the failed TV personality from Britain. That was an obscure reference, by the way. Nobody's going to understand that. The people who do will enjoy it oh so much. Another mod that is weird, but also a necessity, is the Chirpy Exterminator. Now, I can't be the only one who fucking hates Chirpy. You're building your city, you're building Timon and Pumbaa's bloody workstation, and then Ted Mosby doesn't like the food. Build more bridges. Build more bridges. No, build more bridges. Fuck off, Chirpy, right? Fuck off. I don't want to be annoyed by you. If I wanted to listen to tweets, I would go on fucking Twitter. I didn't play Cities Skylines to listen to some bird condescend me and tell me how to do my job, right? I'm the mayor. You're not even a person. You're just a little computer program. You're a bird, right? Worse than that, you're a modern day paperclip. So fuck off my screen and die. And that can be arranged. That can be arranged. He can die, and he will die if you do this mod. Chirpy Exterminator works in a multitude of ways. It lets you kind of just get rid of him, basically. It lets you get rid of him. That's all you want in the mod, isn't it? Are you the mayor your city deserves, but not the one it needs right now? Yeah? In that case, download Wayne Enterprises mod. Now this is a minor mod, as a lot of these are. A lot of these are minor kind of building changes, texture changes, because the game is so early in development. I'm sure if you come back here in like 6 months, there'll be many more mods out. There'll be kind of different maps, different things like that. But for now, it's early days, and Wayne Enterprises mod is one of the better ones on offer. It offers a new custom building, which is Wayne Enterprises. Surprise, surprise! It's not going to be Mickey Mouse's Playhouse if the name of the mod is Wayne Enterprises. That's just a hint. That's just basic deduction, right? I'm not Sherlock, although I have the hair for it, but there you go. Deduce that, motherfucker. Wayne Enterprises is a custom building. It's a special building, one of a kind, and it just offers kind of tourism to your city. It offers more kind of house prices and offers more money to you as an individual. And at the end of the day, that's what matters. Your city's happiness can go suck a dick somehow. Money is what matters, and Wayne Enterprises will indeed give you money. Right? Batman will be perusing the streets. Don't know how he's going to do it without being seen, but there you go. Hopefully this leads to other mods. The one thing I want in my game is Batman instead of police. You don't have police precincts, you have Batman precincts, right? Police like donuts, so you'd build a donut shop next to the police place to get money. But if Batman was there, you would just put like father figures just all around there. Just shops full of father figures. And Batman would eat it up, right? That's how you lure a Batman into your cave. Joker, take notes. It's more of a novelty than anything else that's really serious. But I mean, why wouldn't you want this? It's beautiful. Maybe Batman's not your thing. Maybe broody men who dress in latex is not your jam, and I would understand that wholeheartedly. If that's not your kind of idea of fun, dressing up in latex and having weird capes on, then maybe you will prefer this mod. City 17 Citadel. Again, this is a custom building, and it copies off the tower of Half-Life 2 and Half-Life fame. It's a giant tower, puts Dubai's tower to shame, has the benefit of looking like Dubai Tower on acid, and actually makes your city look like some kind of weird overlord type thing. If you're playing the game as an RP man who wants to like kill everybody, then maybe this tower's for you. If you have this tower just sitting there, people know who's in charge, right? You could say that you're overcompensating. The tower's like fucking 2,000 miles long, so I mean, bigger the tower, smaller the toes, I guess. I don't know what small toes would do, but there you go. Small toes. The tower probably does increase tourism by a small part, but it's mainly just for how it looks more than any kind of in-game features. It's cool, it's wacky, and it's wonderful at the same time. Check it out, motherfucker. Now get your serious hats on, mate, because this one's actually going to make a difference to your game. I know, mods that make a difference to your game. What is happening right now? Whoa! But yeah, this one's quite good. It's an 8-way roundabout. What that basically means is less traffic, right? So that's a good thing. If you have traffic everywhere, you get congestion. Not you personally, you don't get congestion, but like the city gets congestion, right? And it's never good. But this 8-way roundabout, if you build this at the heart of your city, if you make this the centerpiece of your dazzling metropolis, then it really will answer a lot of the problems that seem to be evident in a lot of Skyline playthroughs. I've watched people play Skylines, and the one thing that seems to be a really big problem is, one, that people always build one-way roads around their city. Why? One-way roads are one way. It's like, so somebody, I'm not naming names, Hannah, Sips, they built their cities just with one-way roads, and were surprised when it fucked up. Bit stupid. One way means it's only one way, so they would get in the city and then never get out. But hey ho, there you go. Not too sure how that happened, but this would answer their problems. The roundabout means that you can go around and around in circles. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. It's a 10 out of 10 experience. It also means that you have more freedom with how you build your city. Normally people would build it in squares, but with this 8-way roundabout you can kind of expand it out, and it's really good for that kind of thing. It's also good for having different sectors for different things. So I don't know, maybe you're OCD and you want your industrial areas to be different from your kind of residential areas. Then you can achieve that with this kind of thing. If you build a road off one of the intersections and lead it out quite far, you can separate the different areas by quite a long kind of distance, and it does work out quite well in terms of getting rid of pollution and all those nasty pasty things. So there you go, there's a roundabout on the list. The Roundabout fan club was getting really rowdy. They were sending me angry messages saying you need to have a roundabout mod on this list. So I answered them and I was like, hello, sure, I'll have a roundabout on this list. Fuck off, stop phoning. And they did stop phoning. So that was beautiful. That was a 10 out of 10 experience. That really did help. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. I've had too much coffee. Next list, song, thing, video. Game mod. Buy Azura's beard. This mod is good. You get it? Because it's Shrine of Azura! Wow! Jokes. This mod is based around the Skyrim god, or the Elder Scrolls god, Azura. She's the goddess of, I don't know, let's try and figure it out, fucking moons and suns and tits. Moons, suns and tits, the three best things, right? You can't live without moons, you can't live without suns, you can't live without, well you can. Well no you can't actually, because you need breastfed. Crack the code. This one's another building, but it's not a recoating of an existing one, it's a separate one that is supposed to draw people to your city. It's a big landmark, much like Statue of Liberty or Benjamin Franklin's face on the mountain, whatever the fuck that's called. It's like that, but different, because it's about Skyrim. So if you like Skyrim, as a lot of people do, then I'm sure you'll like this mod. This is just the kind of gateway to having bigger mods. If you can have Shrine of Azura in this game, I'm sure you can have Skyrim cities in this game, and that would be beautiful. Imagine having Nordic men walking around your town riding horses and fucking bitches. It would be a 10 out of 10 experience. I really do think there's a lot of potential for these kind of mods. As I said, this is the first wave of mods. They're kind of basic, but as they kind of get used to the mod capabilities, as people get used to the kind of mod tools, more stuff will get made and more interesting things will get made. The one thing I'm looking forward to is sci-fi mods when they make an appearance, and being able to have like Mars maps and shit. I think that'll be really cool. But for now, Shrine of Azura is a kind of cool idea. It's interesting that they've imported this into the game. I'm kind of surprised that it actually works so well and looks so good. But there you go, it's a cool little mod, one that should increase tourism, residential prices, and all those good things. And something that again is a bit of a joke mod, and not to be taken too seriously. Whoa, radical dude, let's get 480 stoned, man! This is a mod about skateparks. That previous thing I just said, that speech, had nothing to do with skateparks, but I didn't know how to segue into this mod. So yeah, that was a segue. Get used to it. This is another kind of additional building in the game. A lot of these are additional buildings. That seems to be the most popular thing, so that seems to be the thing that people make the most. Now, what this really does is let you implement skateparks into your little world. It's pretty cool. It's pretty interesting. You don't actually see people skate, which is weird, or at least nobody used mine to skate. Mine was just empty the whole time, so it was more of a kind of art installation. But there you go, it was cool enough. It looks pretty realistic. I don't frequent skate parks because exercise is a no-no for me. The only exercise I do, the exercise in my right of free speech, and I don't really do that much either. So yeah, that was a shit joke. It's a skate park. I don't need to see much else. It's basic. It's a skate park. It'll mean more prices, more shit, more loveliness in your little town. Maybe you want to kind of cater to the teenagers, hit that beautiful kind of 18 to 20 demographic. You can do that if you want to by introducing this little skate park. Do you remember before when I said we should have some sci-fi maps? Well, slap my tits and call me Sally, there's one right here. Mission to Mars. This is a map. It's not a city, it's a separate map that lets you kind of make a city on Mars. It's a location. It's a location, much like there's lots of locations like Sunny Beach and all those things. This one is one on the beautiful city of Mars. You can civilize the planet, you can add colour correction, you can do loads of cool things. It's really interesting, it's really wonderful, and it's a neat idea. What would have been cool is if they had kind of buildings built around the idea of Mars. Like the buildings were all changed, they all had new textures, but of course, as I've said time and time again, it's early days, and I'm sure that will come later on. The map is vastly different to what else is made on the kind of workshop. A lot of the workshop mods are like, I don't know, Germany, England, but this is out of this world, you know, it's kind of alien, it's kind of strange. Yeah, it's beautiful, it's cool, it's on Mars, and hopefully we'll get like a Red Faction kind of mod, maybe, or a Total Recall mod. The 80s version of Total Recall, not the new one. The new one is how the French say, uno shito, no thanks, I like the old one better. Arnold Schwarzenegger, 10 out of 10 bloke, never met him, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say he's nice. So yeah, because he's nice, I like this mod. Have you ever wanted to decorate Gabe Newell's face? No, not in that way. Don't even answer that question. Decorate his face. I'm probably going to get fucking sued by him. Sexual harassment over the internet. Don't decorate his face, right? But you can decorate his face on this game with the use of buildings. There's a map which is like an island in the shape of his face. You can lie to me all you want, Gabe, but I know you have a secret island built in the shape of your face. right? You've got an island out there somewhere called Dabetopia, and the only people living on it are you and Dave from accounting, right? You two just have a beautiful old time. It's your holiday getaway from life. But we've reconstructed it in this mod, right? So Cities Skylines has finally made the thing that everybody wanted, Gabe Face Island. Now, there's no buildings on it. As I said before, it's just a little island in the shape of his face. You can build like kind of skyscrapers everywhere, you can have weird stuff. It doesn't really work there because like his nose is protruding out the top. So like there'll be skylines that are on a giant mountain and there'll be like some dodgy bloke who's stuck halfway through a mountain. Like some kind of weird modern dwarf. Well, I mean like not like a modern dwarf, like a fantasy dwarf in modern times. Modern dwarfs are just dwarfs. Modern dwarfs are Peter Dinklage and Warwick Davis. They don't live in mountains. I'm not saying that they live in mountains, but yeah, this mod is just a novelty, it's just a joke, and it's just a cool map. There's not a lot of maps on the vanilla game, so this is a wanted kind of addition to the game, and one that should offer more freedom and more fun times all around. Now this doesn't really work as an actual kind of game save, but it is something that's really cool and deserves a place on the #1 spot just because it took so long and it is so kind of complex. Somebody recreated the Grand Theft Auto 5 map in Cities Skylines. Everything is done again. You've got the docks, you've got the kind of desert section, you've got the main kind of city, and although the buildings themselves are different because different games, the districts and the kind of setup of the city are all the same. And it's just, even to see what kind of a splendor it is and see how kind of minute details were kind of put in this game and put into this mod. It's so cool. It's really complex. It's a big feat. It's got loads of attention on YouTube and by other creators, and for a right reason. Although you can't really play the game with this map, it's really cool to see like what kind of potential this game has, what kind of mods could be made. The fact that someone created the Grand Theft Auto 5 map so early on in this game's sort of lifespan just goes to show like what could happen in the future, and goes to show how kind of dedicated the mod community is. It's a really cool thing to just look at and see. There's not too much gameplay you can like kind of use with it, but it is a cool thing to see and like see how far this guy went to recreate this map, because it is pretty crazy the lengths to which he went. He has more time than money, and he hasn't got any more time, to be honest. He spent all his time making this, so he hasn't got any time or money, so he's fucked. Well done him. But there you go, that was the top 10 Cities Skylines mods. Hopefully you enjoyed this countdown. It felt like it was a good time to do this while it's early on. I might do another countdown of the top 10 Cities Skylines mods a little later on. I might do another countdown of the top 10 Cities Skylines mods a little later on in the game's life. But for now, I've been Ciparian. This has been the top 10 Cities Skylines mods. See you next time.